Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're talking about the world's biggest waste of money. I'm going to give you guys 5 of the biggest wastes of money. I see people spending money on these things, and I'm just like, what are you doing, man? You are just wasting money, like beyond wasting money with these things, guys. So can't wait to share this with you. I hope you enjoy. Let's get straight into this. The first one is expensive weddings. Did you know in the United States of America, the average wedding costs somewhere around $35,000? You heard me right, $35,000 for a one-day event. This is a one-day event. And yes, it's a magical day. It's one of the coolest days of your life if you're able to get to that point where you get married with somebody. It's awesome, man. It's so cool. But man, this is one day. This is one day in your life. This is just a day, okay? You're spending $35,000 on this, okay? This is average spend too. The average American makes around $50,000 a year. After taxes, guess what that is? Right around $35,000, okay? After all their taxes are taken out and all that. You're spending one full year of you going to work day in and day out for that wedding. Day in and day out, you go to work for an entire year, and that is what you paid for that wedding. Is that really worth it? Think about the other things you could do with all that money. You could do a whole week in Maui, Hawaii. You could do a whole week in London. You could do a whole week in San Francisco, and you could do a whole week in the Bahamas and still have money left over at the end of the day. You could do a bunch of elaborate vacations and still have money left over at the end of the day, guys. And the worst part is, there's a 50% chance that person's going to get divorced. Those people are going to get divorced. So there's a 1 in 2 chance you're going to get divorced, and you're going to spend more money on that than you've ever spent at any point ever in your life. I mean, literally, other than people buying a house at some point in time or a condo or something, like this is probably their biggest expense in life. And it's just mind-blowing to me. And you know why it happens? It's because a lot of these, places that get people married, they're going to sell you emotions. Oh, you want this? This is the best day of your life. This is the, the most precious day. You want to, get all these fancy flowers and get this and get that. I've been through the process of getting married, guys. We spent not even remotely close to that amount because I read through the little crap that they try to feed you. Oh, you need this and you need that. Absolutely not, man. And you need to invite everybody. Heck no, man. Invite the closest people to you, invite them, have them come through, and that's what it's about. Not about having 100 people there or 800 people there. It's like on TV, The Wedding Crashers. You ever watch Wedding Crashers? I love that movie. It's one of my favorite. They're having all these, elaborate weddings in it with all these people and stuff, and they spend so much money, and that stuff gets out on TV, and it just glorifies weddings at the end of the day, and people end up spending way more than they should, and it's just, it's mind-blowing. The next one up, number 2, is something kind of similar to a wedding, but a little worse. This one is expensive funerals. Did you know in the United States of America, the average funeral costs somewhere around $10,000, guys? $10,000 to put someone in the dirt. To put someone in the dirt and say, this is it. $10,000, and it's usually it's probably the saddest day, actually, in that person's life. They don't give a rat's crap about it. They're dead. They don't care if you spend a bunch of money on them. But another thing, these funeral places love to do is they like to say, oh, how would they like it? They were such a great person. They deserve a great funeral. They need to really be remembered as a great person. Man, if they were a great person, they're going to be remembered regardless if they have a grand funeral or if you cremate them and spend $400 at the end of the day, guys. So whether you spend $10,000 or $400, that does not mean you love them any more or any less at the end of the day. It's just a lot of funeral talk. They want to sell you all these fancy flowers. They want to sell you this fancy casket. They want to sell you, this and that add-on at the end of the day, and it's like, dude, $10,000 to bury a person. Come on, man. Like, unbelievable waste of money. Unbelievable waste of money. The third biggest waste of money I see people doing is spending ridiculous amounts of money on super high interest loans. You shouldn't be taking out a high interest loan. Like these payday loans that are, people are charging like 99% interest rate, 107% interest rate. I'm like, that's insane. That's beyond insane, those loans. But I'm even talking about the people that are signing, car notes that have a 20% interest rate on it, a 15% interest rate on it, a 25% interest rate. I've literally seen people sign in front of my eyes, unfortunately, car loans with a 25% interest rate on it, guys. Come on now. We're smarter than this, are we not? I guess we are not. Add up, over let's say you pay off that car for 7 years, right? You're paying on that car for 7 years. Pull out a calculator and show me what the true cost of a car, let's say you're buying a $30,000 car at a 25% interest rate over 7 years, and tell me what the true cost of that car is. It sure as hell is not $35,000. It's over double that, guys. And it's just, it's mind-blowing to me the way people waste money on these super high loans, guys. And and literally it gets harder to climb out of this once you get deep in it. That brings me to the fourth one, which is taxes. Now, we all got to pay taxes at the end of the day. I'm not saying paying taxes isn't a waste of money, although I hate politicians about as much as anybody at the end of the day, and I hate seeing them go get their pockets real fat, and a lot of them don't get done crap when they're in office, right, at the end of the day. So, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about doing your taxes properly. A lot of people, they don't do their taxes properly. They haven't really looked into all the write-offs they could have. And so many people are leaving a lot of money on the table with a lot of these write-offs. You shouldn't just, count on whoever you're giving. If you don't do your taxes yourself, right? You have someone else do them. Don't just count on that they're going to probably do it right. Look into taxes yourself. And then you say, well, I'm paying someone to do that. Yeah, those people are bombarded with tons of people doing their taxes, especially if you're sending in those taxes around March or April. Like, they got a billion people. They're trying to get them done usually as fast as possible. They're not, if you have a really great person doing your taxes, they'll look for every little thing to save you money, every little deduction, right? But a lot of these guys and gals, they're just trying to get their money at the end of the day as fast as possible. So they're not going to look up some of these deductions, guys. You need to do that. You need to do that and say, hey, you know what? I spent money on this and that. And guess what? There's a deduction for that from the government. I need to make sure that's included in my taxes. And so if you want, do your taxes yourself. I do all my taxes myself. I know how to do it. If you're not, you can still count on somebody, but then you'll know about these deductions and then run that by them when they go to do those taxes. Hey, I noticed you didn't have me for such and such deduction. You didn't have this expense on there. Why did you not have this expense on there? Put them on the spot and then see what you get back from them, guys. So that is definitely the fourth biggest waste of money. And the fifth biggest waste of money is, I forgot it. The fifth biggest waste of money I see companies doing all the time is advertising. Now, advertising done right can absolutely get you a good return on investment, but advertising done properly, okay? I see so many people that start businesses, sell a product, whatever it is, sell a service that they have, and they don't really get the return on investment or even remotely close to return on investment. So many businesses literally are like gambling with their money when they do advertising. They haven't really tested out this way or that way. They just like, oh, here's $2,000 Facebook, here's $2,000 Google, here's $2,000, Instagram or whatever it is, okay, guys? And they just throw their money at that. They say, this is our advertisement. Let's hope it works out. And that's what they do, guys. And they do it with large amounts of money. You should not be spending large amounts of money on advertising unless you know it's going to get you that return on investment. So when you want to start doing advertising campaigns, you start a side business or a full-time business or something out there that you need to advertise. You need to do it in small batches, $10, $20 a day. See how that pans out. Are you getting the return on investment? Make sure you have ways that you know if you're getting the return on investment, you're getting the clicks you need and all those kinds of things. If you are, then you can up that a bit. But don't go in there heavy right off the bat. And there's a lot of big companies wasting massive amounts of money on advertising that they just literally have somebody running their marketing department who's been around since the 80s and they are still trying to advertise like it's the 1980s. I mean, think about how many companies spend ridiculous amounts of money on television advertising when who the hell watches television ads anymore? I know I don't even hardly watch any television, and guess what I do when I do watch television? I grab the remote and I press fast forward because I watch everything on DVR anyways, guys. And that I'm not the only one, that's the majority of you guys out there, the high majority of you. If you are someone that actually watches TV on a regular basis and you actually watch the ads, you're not on your phone when the commercials are playing or fast forward to them, raise your hand. I don't see anybody, guys. Those are the 5 biggest wastes of money out there. If you just came across this channel, you may want to subscribe. We talk personal finance on the channel. We talk entrepreneurship. I'm an actual business owner. I give away so many business tips. That was a good business tip, that last one I gave you. We talk stock market investing more than anything. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.